Hi, this is Steve with MultiSport Mojo. Today, we want to talk about pockets. This is critical. This is critical in training and especially on race day if you're a multi-sport athlete. So I think if you're a multi-sport athlete, you're used to the pockets on a cycling shirt, right? This is a cycling shirt, typical cycling kit top. And as it comes up, you've got what we're used to seeing. Here, I'll bring it up. These three pockets, right? And these three pockets can hold a lot of stuff. Here's just a phone. I'm just gonna throw this pocket in, whoop, and it disappears. And I know a lot of riders that put a tube. You put a tube in the pocket, disappears. It's out of sight. All right. Then you start to get into triathlon, or you switch out to a tri kit, and you're met with a bit of a surprise. Because the tri-kit pockets are not as big. They're not as big, and so it forces you to evaluate your storage options particularly on the ride and the run, right? You're not really using them on the swim. If you're gonna take any nutrition, you're going to do it before you get in the water. Once you're in the water, you've got either your swim skin or your tri wetsuit on, and you're off to the races and back. But once you get on the ride and when you're on the run, those pockets are critical for any on-course nutrition. If you're on the bike, you may have on-bike storage, but you may not, and you may need those pockets to keep you may think, I want to put a tube in, or I want to put an extra CO2, or I want to put a little nutrition, or I want that extra gel on the run, and so it's critical to understand both that tri-top pockets are not as big as traditional cycling jersey pockets are. Cycling jersey pockets, you can put the kitchen sink in those guys, right? And they're made for that. Tri-tops are not meant for that. In fact, I'll do the same thing. We'll do the same, right? Here's the phone. We'll put the same phone in this thing, and what you can see is you can still see the phone out the top. And it kind of it fits kind of edged at. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but it's right on the top. Would you have a phone in there? No, but it's the biggest thing I got. How about a tube? If you put a spare tube in to the pocket, it's not, I can work it so that it gets in there, but I mean, now imagine yourself in T1 trying to stuff this tube into your back pocket. 10, 15 seconds. Okay, yeah, I got it in there. It's in there, but it's crammed in there. And is there room for anything else? No. Typically, you've only got two pockets. Here's, gosh, if I can get my hands on the other one. You've got these two pockets. You've got this one, and then you've got this other pocket, and that's, let's see if I can move this around so you can see it from the back, right? You've just got these two pockets, and that's it. That's all the room you've got. And so you need to be mindful about what you want to bring with you on the ride and how you're going to put that gear or take that gear with you. You certainly want to have a spare tube or two. I like to have two tubes on a ride on race day because you never know. And if you only take one and you end up getting a second flat, and flats happen on race day, you don't want them to happen, and they're not supposed to happen, but they happen. They happen on race day, and you need to be prepared. What do? I try and stuff a tube either in the Bonte or I've got a Trek Speed Concept 9.9, so it's got a storage unit off the back seat above the back wheel, and I can stick a tube in there. If you haven't got any of those options, I like to go right on top of the headset, put this on and tape it so that it's as aero as possible, sneak it onto there. I've seen them taped on down tubes. I've seen them put in pretty creative under the seats. I've seen them taped for race day because, again, you just don't have room like you would if you were out on a training ride or even a cycling race to put that extra tube in your back pocket. You just don't have room in a tri-suit. Here's another option. All tri-tops and tri-suits are not built the same as far as pockets. These have a pocket that you can easily get into, right? Here's another option. This is a Segoy. These have pockets that are the same fabric. The other that the other tri-kit was more of a flexible fabric that felt like a bike pocket. This does not. This is really tight. It's the same fabric as the tri-kit material itself. I'm just gonna bunch it up, and it's almost on the sides. So if you had anything that, here again, I'll stick the phone in just so you can get an idea on size. Not that you would bring your phone with you on race day, but you can get an idea on size. I mean, it's sticking out, and this is a pretty typical shirt. Here's my favorite option. Again, this is another Sugoi. So this is my favorite option. I'll try and move off the back. I know it's black and white, it's hard to see. You can see that it's got a flap. It's got a flap on this side, and it's got a little bit of a, I mean, the pocket may be about the same, but because it's got this flap, right? We'll do the same phone trick just because of size. I'm gonna put the phone in the pocket. A, it disappears, and B, it's completely enclosed. So it's a nice bridge between a tri-kit pocket, and you've only got two of them. Most tri-kits, if it's just a top or a kit, it's just going to have the two pockets instead of the three that you're going to have in a bike kit, right? And they're going to be more open. But I really like this version where there's a flap on the top and then coming on the back. The only thing that I've found with these is that you get into T1 in particular, and if you've got these guys and you've got, let's say you got a goo and you've got this guy, it's happened to me on T2 as well, and you doing this blind, like from behind you, and you're trying to get it in and stuff it, and it's race day and you're kind of amped and you're in a hurry. This little flap might cause a problem, getting back it in there and how much you want to stick in. But there's a bar and a goo, and they're tucked in there pretty good. Versus, I'll just come back to one of these guys. This where I've got these outside pockets, and it's going to stick up out of the top. It's not the worst thing. I can still get it. I can still get a goo in there, and once it's on, that stuff's not going anywhere. But it's certainly not as secure. If you're on the bike, it may not be as secure if you've got a tube and a spare CO2 or a bike tool or something. If you've got a lot of stuff in there, it's not going to be as secure. So that's those are the different options you've got on tri-kits. 2 pockets, smaller than a typical bike kit, and some have these flaps, which are really nice, and some don't. Make sure that as you're deciding on which kit to wear, if it's just a shirt or if it's the full one piece, that you make sure you look at the pocket options. You don't want to be surprised. You don't want to drop 150, 200 bucks on a shirt or a one piece and find out that the pockets just aren't going to work for you as a storage option as you get onto race day. Okay, I think that's a pretty good review. If you want more of a deep dive, go to trygearguru.com or ridegearguru.com. Trygearguru.com, we're going to have some best ofs and some guides and some dig downs on tri-kits and which ones are the best, which ones you should look out for, which ones you should really dial into, and then some really good prices both out at Amazon and then our virtual store at swimoutlet.com/MultiSport Mojo. Really good prices at both of those places for you. So go to trygearguru.com, ridegearguru.com, swimgearguru.com, and rungearguru.com. Those are our 4 sites, our 4 multi-sport sites, where if you want how-tos and insights and perspective and guides and best ofs, that's where all of that information is. And remember to subscribe to our MultiSport Mojo YouTube channel here, and you'll get podcasts and how-to videos like this, some inside videos, and just a lot of good stuff. All right? So again, this is Steve with MultiSport Mojo, and we'll see you next time.